You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Casting from the Auckland studio today. Normally I'm in Wellington, but part of the attraction of coming to Auckland, an All Blacks test, but James McOnie face-to-face, I think trumps it.
Oh, you think that?
Yeah, and speaking of Trump, actually...
Yeah, we should mention it. We should probably mention that.
Yeah, well, just on that, the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump this afternoon, the latest in our news at 2. It's great to see you, mate. What did you make of last night?
Well, last night, let's be honest, Bowden saved us, and I think you and your callers have said as much, right? And the other thing is that, did he just come up with a really good name for a segment on your show? He's talked about Time on the Pine.
Yes, I heard that, actually. I only picked it up later when I listened back.
Yeah.
Time on the Pine.
Time on the Pine. Can we make it a segment? I thought Bowden showed just how great at rugby he is. He is the World Rugby Player of the Year twice in a row. So if you break down what he's done in his career, he's been moved around. I feel like he should have been given an opportunity just to wear the number 10 jersey. A bit like Stephen Larkham, a non-goal kicking first five. Why didn't we just say, hey, that's where we see you? But look, things have happened. Richie Mo'unga is world class as well, but having him around in the squad means that I think not only is he a legitimate option to perhaps start at 15, but also 10.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because then you think, okay, well, if he provides the impact off the Pine, as he did last night, every night he plays, then that's a great use of him. But that was kind of early. That was Steve Hansen Bowden, wasn't it? The best impact player in the world. So it's really hard to know, is it better to have him with a 10 or a 15 on, or is the 23 the right one for him? Yeah,
when you look at impact players around the place, there are some who have been world-class, like Conor Murray for Ireland. So there are coaches who aren't shy on moving a legend, I guess, if you like, onto the bench. But we even saw that happen in football, right? Griezmann started, was on the bench for France the other week. And I think more coaches are starting to realise that final quarter is so crucial. The way Bowden turned the game, there's some freakish skill there. The only thing he did wrong was overcook slightly by 4 centimetres a cross kick that could have resulted in a try. But seeing that impact, though, that the All Blacks needed to rely on that, does highlight that really this test was there for England to take, and perhaps they blew it.
I agree. Cortez Ratama, I liked him.
Yes, agreed. Cortez, so happy for him to come on. It's snappy, really good halfback play, direct and just decisive. Shades of Aaron Smith about the way he sort of goes about his business. A little bit combative as well, so I thought Cortez was great. There were other good players who sort of all chipped in, but I guess the big worry is the line-out seems to be a bit of a shambles. Are our locks a bit too heavy to lift all the time? I mean, we haven't got Sam Whitelock and Brodie Retallick who you just fling in the air like a Bulgarian circus troupe.
But they're bigger men, aren't they, than Scott Barrett and Patrick Tuipulotu?
Not as heavy as... I mean, look, they lifted Artie. Look, Artie Savia is about 6'1", just maybe 100 kilos, perhaps, wringing wet. And he looked like a pretty good line-out option and probably was our best ball carry of the day. Remember, we just went, classic Artie. But that's where I was looking at going, where are the ball carriers? Where's the safety, the security and the line-out? There's a lot to work on, and I think Jason Ryan in particular will have his hands full.
Indeed. All right. All Blacks Fiji next Saturday. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock New Zealand time, final of Euro 2024. England against all expectation up against Spain. What happens here?
England will just be running around after them. It's like that game of Scrag where, let's just say that the standard 4 kids let the juniors sort of come along and play, and they just sort of... hold them at bay, and they're running the sort of the playground, because really Spain are a level above. But for years, Spain have been what I describe as beautiful but bland, and now that's changed. So they've got the 16-year-old playing, who you can probably tell us about as well, Yamal.
Yes.
So he's 16 and starting for them as well, isn't he? I think he is.
Yeah, I think today might be his 17th birthday. So but I mean that doesn't make him a veteran, does it? But like, I think of my son is 16.
Yeah.
And I mean, with no disrespect to him, I can't see him starting for Spain. Well, he's not Spanish for starters.
This is disrespect to your son, because what are you doing at there's a 16-year-old starting for Spain, but also they've got Nico Williams, this exciting winger who plays for Atletico Bilbao, I think, which is not even one of the big clubs, pretty big, but he's come along and given them a bit more direction as well. Suddenly Spain looks so dangerous. I can't see England winning it in regulation, although, look, stranger things have happened. The one thing that I look at, though, when you say, okay, you've got Rodri, who's just a genius holding midfielder. Like Spain have always had these guys like Busquets and Xabi Alonso, who wasn't too shabby. And then now he's up against Declan Rice. And it just doesn't seem like a fair fight.
I wonder that, though, I look at Declan Rice and I wonder whether he might just be the kind of guy who will just get into Rodri's ear and give him a couple of elbows and find a way. Because it just feels so odd, doesn't it? Particularly given the way England played early in this tournament, that they're in the final. It's if you crystallise it down to one game, this could be a tournament that England wins in the 94th minute off their backside.
Totally. And look, Jude Bellingham is going to be an all-time great. He's in the midfield for England. It showed really that Gareth Southgate is a little bit sort of just feeling his way. I always say that he's Mr. Magooed his way through this tournament. Nothing's really worked, and then suddenly he chucks on Ollie Watkins and he scores a goal, the Villa striker. So really, I think it'll probably come down to the subs bench for England if they can, because you're never quite sure who's going to fire for them. And to be honest, if Foden has the game of his life, he could end it, for England. So there's enough talent there. It's exciting. Yeah, 7 a.m. I'll be up, and so will you, Piney.
Absolutely, I will be. Wimbledon's all done and dusted almost all done and dusted for another year. The men's singles final to come. Do you like Wimbledon amongst all the majors? The grass, the strawberries and cream, the tradition?
I remember the tradition. My dad would wake me up and would watch Wimbledon, and I was loved Bjorn Borg, Martina Navratilova, Helena Sukova. Was she in tears, I think, when I was younger? I can't remember. Anyway, look, there's so much drama, pomp and ceremony. Then you realise, it's a little bit full of themselves with royals prancing around and all that sort of thing. But hey, it adds to it. Cliff Richard singing in the rain delay. But the best thing now is, okay, the women's final has been decided, and Krejcikova, fair play, she was really good. Lulu Sun could have almost got there to the final. And from New Zealand, from Tiano, shout out down south. But this is really big. Alcaraz against Djokovic. This will decide whether the torch is being passed or the baton, because, Alcaraz is the defending champ, but Djokovic has won plenty there. So it's a must-watch as well. Yeah.
There's not a lot of time to sleep at the moment, is there? Even after last night's All Blacks test, there was Wallabies, Wales, then I kind of pushed through to South Africa, Ireland, and there's all sorts of other things to watch. And in amongst all of that, coming up over the next month or so, we've got the Olympics in Paris.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not going to get any sleep, but you're going to be there.
I will be there. I will be filing for you, Piney, dutifully from the banks of the very smelly River Seine, which is apparently full of human excrement, but I've heard that our triathletes have vowed to swim on undeterred. Sorry, mate. We probably should go to a break there. But the thing is, what I will say is, I don't want to talk about the poos in the Seine. I did want to talk about maybe medalists who you didn't think. It'll be a few surprise medalists, and I think they're going to come in the pool and in track and field. So look out for, obviously we've got Erica Fairweather and Lewis Clareburt, who we're thinking, they're nailed on medalists. But look out for Hazel Auerhand, 100-metre butterflyer, 6'2". She's from Te Awamutu, represent. She could surprise, and I think Tori Peters in the javelin is a chance as well to medal. In our athletics team, I don't think I've seen it this strong. Look, we don't have a Dame Val who you say, yes, she's gonna win or go close, but I can't see. I've never seen this many medal hopes in our athletics team.
I totally agree. Even James Preston, right, just broke the 800-metre record,
Correct.
National record that Sir Peter Snell had forever. Even Sam Tanner. I know the 1,500 metres is a stacked field, but Sam Tanner, he's got to be a chance. And then Hamish Kerr just jumped 2:33 in the Diamond League in Monaco in the last couple of days. He's got to be a chance in the high jump. There's all these. Got to be in there. Got to be in the conversation. Geordie Beamish, exactly.
And so he's going to run the steeplechase, and that's going to be fascinating to see how he goes there. Zoe Hobbs, obviously Tom Walsh and Jacko Gill, both medal chances, really. We've got 3 pole vaulters led by Eliza McCartney. This is an incredible team, so and it's great because it's still the main event, really, although that and breakdancing.
Yeah, breakdancing and speed climbing as well. Julian David, our male at the Olympics, broke the Oceania record this morning. Hard to commentate the climbing because it's all over in about 6 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of some events from my teenage years. But yes, very, very tough to commentate, and you wouldn't want to. Look, I know we had a caller who didn't like the ACC recently, and I'd just like to say I totally agree with him. It is disgraceful, and I should know because I'm part of that commentary group, and we will be passing on your concerns, and we're not going to walk away from this. Thank you for your feedback, and we appreciate it. So, yeah, thank you.
You walk towards the feedback.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you one thing, speaking of things walking towards, what is England grubber kicking all the time? That was my other note for you, Piney. They only grubber kick if the defence is totally coming towards you. Then you know there's a little bit of gap. But if everyone's running towards the grubber kick, like the Pamplona running of the Bulls, then it's a stupid kick. And they did it about 3 or 4 times. And I'm not blaming Marcus Smith because we both like the cut of his jib.
We do. We like the cut of Marcus Smith's jib very much indeed. I think that's us. I think that's us. Probably a shout out for Erin Ratliff, having made the final of the women's doubles at Wimbledon. She'll team up with Lulu Sun. If we're talking Olympic chances, who knows? We got a bronze medal in the men's doubles last time. Erin Ratliff, Lulu Sun in the women's doubles this time.
Yeah, they're a good chance, exactly. So this is the whole thing. It's going to be on Sky, wall to wall. It's going to be on Sky Open, which is the old Prime channel. So the Olympics, sometimes you think, there's so many distractions, but the Olympics is one time when you almost hibernate watching sport, and it's a wonderful thing. 15, 16 days of action, and then you can go back to your normal life.
Indeed. Yep. No, get into it. And if you can't get the chance to watch it, then listen to it on Gold Sport and News Talk ZB as well. Great to see you, mate.
Cheers, mate. Yes, I forgot about Gold Sport. Yes, and don't forget Sky. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, James. James McOnie, huge part of our Sundays around about this time, every Sunday on Weekend Sports.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.